Yo, we are back, and this time we're back with the first ever Ellis sample pack called Electro Funk Essentials Volume 1. Going to leave the link to that in the description if you want to go and check it out. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to use the brand new pack to make a song from scratch. I've never made a song on camera before, so it could go horribly wrong, but let's give it a go. Alrighty, so I think first things first, we need to find a loop or something to go off. So let's check out the bass guitar kit and let's go into loops. Let's go with this one. Cool, this is the loop. It's at 90 BPM, so we need to speed it up. Alright, let's go like 112 BPM. Bounce that out. I've lost my boom arm for this thing, so producing whilst holding this is trickier than it looks. What I'm going to do actually is chuck this in Logic Sampler. Just choose slice mode. Let me try pitching it a little bit. So what I've just done is I've split the bass patch now up into 3 parts, and I've just changed the pitch on them so we get a slightly different bass line. Just commit to it and bounce it out. So let's start with a kick, drum one shots, kicks. And yeah, there's bloody loads of kicks here for you guys, so let's have a look. I want something quite clean, I think. That's quite cool. The Ibiza one's cool. The dish soap kick is also dope. So let's try both. Yeah, let's go with the dish soap one. It's just a bit cleaner, isn't it? Cool, moving on. We need a... Actually, you know what I'm going to do before we do anything? You got that double kick. And with the double kick, you can add that Prince clap on top of it. That typical disco vibe. And then we'll layer a different one underneath. This one's perfect. Right. Key ingredient we're missing is the snare, so let's pick a decent snare. That one's kind of cool. This Disco Child one works every time, honestly. Alright, let's try these two. See, that one is just tight, isn't it? But I do kind of like the vintage one as well. Don't need the fundamental from this one. I've just given that kick a little bit more attack just because the snare is like super transient heavy. Alright, let's not overthink it. Let's chuck some hats in. And let's go with a hat loop. So let's go in the percussion loops. Something live, I think, that we can chop up. There we go, perfect. Let's just chuck it straight into the sampler. I want some like proper skippy hats that kind of like... You'll see what I mean. Let's try it. See, this is exactly what I meant. You know what, we're going to add this delay thing again, just so it sits a little behind the kick so it sounds a bit more live. See, now that's grooving. Okay, I've just chucked these percussions in because I want to chop them up and kind of match them to the hats, I think. See, it just adds a bit more texture to the loop. Cool. I think it's time we should process this bass a bit. Yo guys, don't sleep on thermal. It's one of the best like effects distortion plugins I've ever used. It's just weird and it just gives you crazy sounds. So let's just go through a couple of these presets. Just put thermal on a really low percentage and it's just giving it that wah-wah kind of sound. Let's just add the regular Logic bit crusher. It's not a bad bit crusher at all. Nice, so we've basically got the foundation of an idea here. We're missing a lot of harmonic information, so let's see if we can write some chords or some melodies or something to this bass line. What we need is one of the synth sounds from the pack. This Juno brass thing always kind of works, so let's chuck it into Logic sampler. Alright, this is where we're at. Just going to try and tighten this synth up a little bit. Another little cool trick that I like to do with synths is I'll duplicate the patch down and I'll just slightly adjust the envelope or like the filter or whatever, so you don't have to do like loads of crazy automation, and you can be like really specific with how you want a certain note or chord to sound. If you listen to this, so once again, I've actually just duplicated it down and dropped it an octave and made the envelope super short. It's like 1.1 milliseconds and you get this sound. Add it with the other chords. Nice. Okay, so I think the smartest thing to do here is to copy over the chords and edit them slightly so they're a bit more reverbed out, maybe played slightly differently. And then we're opening up that cutoff so that we're building into a drop. What if we literally just loop this last chord? Let's add some like verbed out claps to this build up. Okay, maybe we could use like a percussion, a tom maybe. Right, I've just been messing about with these little percussion sounds before the drop, and this is what we've got. Just flows in quite nicely. The second half of this drop so far sounds like it repeats a little bit too much. So what I want to do is add a little variation in the chords or the bass maybe. Now that is funky. Let's have a listen to that. Really want to make that a little bit of a moment as well. So let's see if we can make the drums follow it a little bit more. Okay. Just had a quick snack, but now I'm back. And before that, I just added a quick mastering chain just so we could get an idea of how it's going to sound in its final form. So mostly now what we're going to need is like effect sounds, maybe a couple of different layers coming in here and there, little fills maybe, just like the final ear candy and stuff to finish it off, and then I think we're good. I've added in a bass from this bass one shots. I added in the fake P bass, and had it playing the lower octave of what the bass line was playing, just because we're missing some sub-frequency content. I've added a bit of R bass to that bass sound as well, and this is what it sounds like. Just remove some highs too. Let's see if we can add another bass layer as well, just to add in some texture. This roller could be cool. It's just got a nice attack to it. Let's start filling it out with some effects. What effects can we use? I mean, let's start with a riser in the build. Alright guys, I'm literally just going to be dropping random stuff into the project now, so I'm going to stop speaking and just use my ears and see where this takes me. Okay guys, so I've spent like the last 10 minutes or so just filling out the empty spaces here. So firstly I added in this tiny little extra synth, which is the Bruno synth from the pack. And then there's this sine synth. Some effects and some hi-hats. There's also these chopped up guitars. And then in the breakdown we've just got this impact, which I've filtered out, so we've just got the boom of it layered with this other one, and just a little bit of Atmos. This turned out better than I've imagined actually, so let's give it a whirl. Alright, so there you have it. That is me exclusively using the new Electro Funk Essentials Volume 1 pack to make a song. That's the first time I've ever done it. It was a little hard, but I'm kind of pleased with the result. I think it sounds pretty sick. And for those of you that already have the pack, I want to hear what you've made of it. So don't be afraid to drop me a DM on Instagram if you've made something with the pack, and I'll always share it because that's all part of the fun, isn't it? But yeah, that's all for now. Big love. If you want to cop the pack, I'm going to drop the link in the description. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time.